Well, welcome back. Fortunately, this is Caleb Leverett. Fortunately, I'm back in Wyoming, where my heart and soul belongs. I do believe. I have just got back from Billings, Montana, and I've learned something about myself, something that I've already known, but to a much bigger degree. I do not like crowds, like at all. I just don't like crowds. I like solitude. I like being alone, and I realized this. Well, I realized that a long time ago when I was a field mechanic for 25 years in the West Texas oil field. But after spending about 9 days out here and then various places around, I don't know why I'm having a connection all of a sudden. Hi, Denon. Hi, Sir Meeps. Well, this is frustrating. Calico Cat, hello. You're a new face, a new name. Are y'all seeing me? Yes, no. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. It says I'm live, and then sniping gamer, hello. I'm just gonna assume favorite movie genre, yes. Just Dan, and thanks. It just keeps freezing. I don't know why. Well, I get in the sun. Now I've got 3 bars, and I get in the sun, I'm hot. When I'm in the shade, I'm cold. I'm gonna have to take this off. I guess I'll just stand out here. Damn it! I wanted to relax in my uh, in my uh, in my hammock, but oh well. Anyways, I've learned that I really don't like traffic at all. I wound up I was in a might as well have been a foreign country. I know it's not. It's the same United States, but I was in a state that I've never even hardly ever spent any time in, and I honked at somebody. Billings is a town about 110,000 people, and I've honked, and I'm like, why am I in such a hurry? Where am I? I was just going to a park to go live, and um, I honked at them, and I have no business honking at somebody. And it dawned on me, it's just the traffic. I can't help it. It's a knee jerk reaction. I can't help it. So instead of being there, this is where I'm at, and I love it here. The only thing I miss living in a tent up here as America's or the world's most favorite homeless dad. The only thing I miss being here is my cushy bed and indoor plumbing sometimes. And speaking of beds, that was one of the options that YouTube let me choose for the sponsor of this is a Dream Something mattress, of which I've never used, but I actually would love to have a mattress, a real mattress. I do have a 2 inch uh, air mattress. It's specifically for hikers. It's very lightweight. It's a full 6.5 feet long, but it's only about 18 inches wide. It keeps my hip off the out of the dirt or off the ground. It's just enough to I don't it doesn't dig in there, but back in action. Hey man, I'm doing well. Why don't you get some land and put a home on it? Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Part of the reason I don't is the family courts broke my ass, and I chose to fight them and stay involved with my children's lives. And it broke me. Took my house, my business, my bank accounts, my cars, took everything. My children, my freedom, put me in jail for 60 days. I know I keep using, maybe that's just an excuse. I've saved up. I got my crypto account up to about $50,000 about 3 months ago. And if you follow the crypto market, it's like really down. Like really down. We all thought this was it. It's gonna go. It's real early. We had Bitcoin hit an all-time high before the halving event, first time in history, and it just went up and up and up, and then we thought, yeah, it'll be a week-long pullback, maybe a month-long pullback. And here we are 3 months, a little over 3 months later. And man, it hurts watching it go down. But I've told myself I'm going to have diamond hands and I'm going to make sure that I don't sell. So anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to do but enjoy my crippled ass back being up in these mountains. I've had people say, Caleb, why don't you just get a job? Well, I've done that. And I'm so far in debt with the extortion racket known as the family courts there in Texas. I owe my ex-wife about $46,000, and I just don't have it. And I've got a bad back. The one thing that I was really good at, like really, really good at, it only exists in West Texas, and that was being a field mechanic. I was really, really good at that. I made a lot of money, lost a lot of money because of family courts, and my back is so bad now. And then people say, well, how do you hike up there with all that gear? Well, if you've ever had back problems, you'll know the difference. And being able to bend over or lift or not lift. If you've never had back problems, then you just can't imagine what back pain is. There's certain things I can do. I can go to the gym. I can lift in a very certain way. I can wear these special backpacks, which is right here. I'll just show you. That right there. It's got a nice little thing that goes around my waist and my shoulders and distributes the weight, and I'm able to carry it. But I cannot bend over very well. I certainly can't bend over for any significant amount of time. I can't even. I had dinner with a friend of mine up in Billings, and I couldn't even sit at a booth. I can't even sit at a booth anymore for longer than 30 minutes. And my back just, the leaning forward, I can't do it. I'm having to admit defeat. I'm old as dirt. Oh, by the way, my last two lives, I got zapped, not my whole channel, but the movies or the videos themselves, because apparently my mouse is a little too R-rated. Some would say possibly X-rated. I don't mean that to offend anybody. I just find using the most descriptive words possible helps me describe how I feel about ridiculousness. And so, especially if the crypto market's going to keep going down, I don't really need to have any more strikes on any of my videos, because this is about the only thing other than my investment, which is not growing at the moment. Everyone that's in the know is about 99.9% sure it will grow and go crazy, for the matter of fact, soon, but we don't know when. Soon could be a month, it could be a week, it could be 6 months. We just don't know. So I'm going to do my best to watch my potty mouth and describe things that I find ridiculous, the behavior in all kinds of people, whether you're straight or gay or black or white or Hispanic or Asian or the word where you whack your thing off and I can't even say it. I'm going to be critical of all behavior of all people, and that doesn't make me a racist or a hater or a sexist or an ageist or I don't even know if I could say the R word anymore. Maybe that's what's getting me, which would be funny because I am the R word. I've made that very clear. I've not technically, don't have the money to go to a doctor to find out, but I suspect that I am at least somewhat R'd. And that doesn't mean I don't understand things. I understand things very well. There's just certain social situations where it's things just they don't click with me, or I don't have much of a filter on my mouth, especially if you know me in person. The only person I genuinely really really watch my mouth around for real, other than general public, yeah, kind of, but if one slips out, I don't worry about it, is my mom. But around my mom, I try my best not to be quite so vulgar as I have been. I mean, she knows how I am, but it's just a respect thing. People call me a misogynist, and yet I'm the world's weirdest mama's boy you'll ever meet. So anyways, there's one more thing I was going to cover. Well, the main thing was just that one thing I've learned about them is not only do I not like being around crowds, I've got a problem. Like, I don't like being around people. I enjoy talking to people. I love being online. I've got lots of online friends that I've had for years, some for over a decade that I've never even met, and I genuinely consider them friends. And I talk to my mom and occasionally my sisters and my kiddos, but I thoroughly enjoy being out in nature. I do. I like being alone. It soothes my soul. I don't have the urge to honk at anybody. Again, I was in Billings, and I'm a foreigner there. I'm new there. I have no business, especially if I'm not on a job there. I have no business honking at anybody. Just for, well, I won't bore you, but it was just silly stuff that I shouldn't have done it. If it was in Odessa, I wouldn't care because I don't like Odessa. But oh yeah, I know what I was gonna say. I bought a pickaxe, a handheld pickaxe at Harbor Freight before I left, and I got it for like $9, brand new. And that sucker right there, as you can see, what I've been sleeping on is this slant. I don't know if that slant shows up, but I promise you, sleeping on that slant is it's tough. I found the flattest spot I could find, but I took my pickaxe, and it's up the pad I made, about a 7x7 square. It's up there, but I don't want to walk up there because I don't want my thing freezing up anymore. Pickaxed me, and I'm not done yet. I've worked on it for about an hour, and then, big surprise, my old back kicked in and just started killing me. I have to literally, when I bend over, put one hand on my knee and another hand using, the pickaxe to make it flat. So yeah, other than indoor plumbing and my own mattress, I don't really miss anything at all. Obviously, I have regrets about, or I don't know if it's regrets. I miss I'm angry about the things that I miss with my cheerings because of my rotten ex-wife suing me and her simp daddy husband assisting her the whole time and suing me for all those years. I missed out on that, but the stuff that I can't change, I don't really miss it. I mean, yeah, I'd love to have my camper and give you a truck, but that'll come. I don't really miss. I don't miss the crowds. I don't miss. I'm 10. Once I walk to my car, which is way over there. It's kind of. I can't even see it. It's one of those. Yeah, it's right there. Way over there. Takes about 15-20 minutes to get to. But once I get to my car, I'm about 10 minutes from town, and I get me a rotisserie chicken and some sweets and just various things to snack on. And I don't miss. That's about all I miss is my comfy bed and a little bit of indoor plumbing. Other than that, and my goal is to, once I cash out, that's exactly what I want to do. And I have no idea if this is going to work. I have no clue. I've just taken my huevos and just tossed them out there, and we shall see if it works. I could be completely flat, busted, broke, and homeless for the rest of my life since I'm half crippled. Or I could be a millionaire here in just a few months. I don't know. I really don't know. I could get sued again now that the assholes are, there I go, dadgummit, the a-holes that love to sniff out blood. And, the old saying, you can't drain blood from a turnip. Well, I've been a turnip for a long time. But now that the a-holes that are just notorious of sniffing out just the slightest bit of blood, they might try to sue me again. I don't know. I hope not. That's why I don't give away my exact location. And I can only stay here 14 days at a time anyway. And there's a big old mountain range right over there. And I get to go find another spot over there, anywhere, and just keep hiding from the butt heads, so they don't try to sue me again and throw me in jail again for being a good dad. So anyways, we're 15 minutes in. I haven't froze up again. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. I've got a whopping 30 people on here. I have no idea why I don't why my channel doesn't have any more reach than it does. Maybe I've just not stuck with it long enough. But anyways, somebody asked me the other day if I take donations, and I haven't. I don't set up any GoFundMe or anything like I did. Like I had one back in 2017, which funded my lawyer, which I was very grateful for. And my old buddy Kristen Megan set that up for me. But since then, no. Back in the olden days, I've got a video where I was talking about Bitcoin in 2013, back when Bitcoin was like, I don't know, $100 a piece or something, really, really low. The last time I checked the price was 66,000 per Bitcoin. So there is a link if you're an Ethereum person and you want to donate to some worthless father like me. That, you know, I'm kind of being facetious, obviously, but there is an Ethereum link. I might have a Bitcoin link in other videos, but I don't know if you know crypto, you'll know that you don't send Ethereum to a Bitcoin address, and you do not send Bitcoin to Ethereum address. If none of that, if all that's way over your head, then just forget it. It doesn't matter anyways. The one in this description box is an Ethereum address. So anyways, here goes. I'm going to get y'all's questions. If you're brand new, please do not ask me about my cheering, because I notice my lovely mod in the chat is Dannon, and she will zap you. It's nothing personal, but I've been asked that question 5 bazillion times, and there's only really one answer. My kids they're fine, and that answer is usually not satisfactory to most people, and they want to know more about the relationship with their mother or other people, and I just can't talk about it. I'm sure you understand. So anyways, Sleep Meeps, Sir Meeps, hi Caleb. Miss Dannon, the Calico Cat says hi. Sniper Gamer, hi. Favorite movie genre? Probably whatever you'd call the genre of Outlander. That's kind of action adventure. I don't know, drama maybe. I guess. Okay, he's freezing. Back in action. Why don't you get some land? Okay, that's where I was. That is the goal. Hello, happy ice skate. My mom always said she doesn't have a favorite child because she said she has a different type of relationship with each one of her children. Is that how you feel about your own children? For the longest time, I used to joke that London, being my baby, the child, the baby, the youngest child of mine, was my favorite because she's the baby and she's my only girl. I would say the boys know that I'm joking, but they also know that I'm serious. I'm obviously joking. She was the baby. She had 3 older turd-head brothers. I had to protect her, and we used to be really, really tight. We're simply not anymore. I can see how parents would have favorites. I tried my best to never show favoritism. I don't think I ever had favoritism. I think I was objective, looking at each one of their strengths in different areas, and always encourage them to do their best and be a good person. But I could definitely see how people could have favorites, but even if you find yourself as a parent picking favorites, just know that you've got to be fair with all of them, because you made them. It's not their fault for their lack of certain qualities or traits. It's probably your fault, whether it's genetic or you just didn't care to teach them or something. So that's your responsibility as a parent. Back in action. Mitch, I remember when I was on your podcast a while back, I explained how you can get redemption against the court and OCSE. If you have it in you to pursue it, please let me know. I do remember you talking about it. I'll be real honest, and thanks for thinking of me. I'm tired, man. I'm so tired. I've got a real good sneaking suspicion if I play my cards right and study, which that's all I do anymore, study the crypto market. I've hoped to make, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, and I'm just going to pay it off. If somebody just really loved my case and they had the gumption to do it and do all the legwork, I'm not trying to sound like a cop out, but man, I'm tired. I'm so tired, but I genuinely do appreciate that. I really, really do. The offer. I'm tired. Like, and I know I keep saying that, but it's true. I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting them. So, anyways, Ben HD Caleb, when your son didn't get out of the car and stood up at his mom, and was free to go. Did y'all plan that out, or was it like he just told you that day? Also, did you you did an amazing job recording that. I don't mind answering that. That's actually a really good question. Parker at the time when he was 14, he'd been wanting to live with me pretty much since we got divorced. I think he was like 7 or 8 when we got divorced, and I got sued 2 or 3 times. I can't remember. By the time he was 14, I was flat busted broke. I'd remarried, got divorced again. Long story, a lot of heartache. Stupid, stupid, stupid on my part to even think about. I should have never done it. That was stupid. But I'd always told him I have no choice. I have to return you. I'm sure I talked to Candace about it, but the answer is always no. I would finally tell them as they got a little older, you're gonna have to text your mom and ask her because I don't have the money to go to court. And if she says no, if I don't bring you back, I'll go to jail. And I just don't want to go to jail, and I'm sorry. But that day, he had really, really come into his Wheaties, I guess you could say. He just did not want to go back. And I felt terrible because here I am trying to be, this leader of my own kids and teach them things, how to be a man, how to not back down from fear, but also be smart about the fight you pick. And I said, son, here's the deal. In a nutshell, I have a copy of the decree. It says I must return you, but I've read it twice. I've read it a dozen times. I've read it over and over. It does not say I have to kick you out. So I'll tell you what. I know how she is. You know how she is. I'll have to return y'all, and once I pull up to the driveway, according to these papers, I have fulfilled my duty. I have returned you to the address on at that time, and I did that. I said, now it's up to you if you want to get out. You can get out if she comes to the door and she pressures you. That's okay. I'm not going to be angry with you. It doesn't matter. Or if you choose to stay in, I'm not going to kick you out because it doesn't say I have to. And I was a nonviolent parent. I never hit my kids. And, it's not like he was just being a brat saying, yeah, I don't want to go to mama. Yeah, I don't want to. It wasn't that at all. Some of the haters would like people to think that, but it's not like that at all. I said, but I know how she is. And, she's real, hi, how you doing? In public, as soon as the door closes. So I said, what I'll do is I'll just pull my camera out because the cameras don't lie. And I said, it's up to you. You can get out. You can not get out. She's obviously going to want you to get out, I'm pretty sure. And she's probably not going to like it, son. But if you fold, don't think I'm going to be disappointed in you because, again, I know how she is. She's overpowering. Very, very, very heads. And then, obviously, the rest is history. He's as hammer-headed as his mother and me combined. And I wasn't going to publish it. I didn't publish it for like 2.5 weeks. And then Jason and Candace pissed me off, and I published it. So that's how that went. And Terry, you're an extreme introvert like me. Our social batteries run out faster than iPhone batteries. Yep, no kidding. Speaking of, I'm down to about 50% right now, so I don't know how long I can go. Regina's retro reviews. Is it comfortable where you're sleeping? It's better. Oddly enough, I sleep really, really well. Being on that slope, I would have to get up in the mornings and having not stretched or anything, to go pee, make coffee or whatever. I strained it. I pulled it or something, and it was a different back pain. It was muscle back pain. But as far as sleeping really well, I sleep like a baby. In fact, I missed my nap because I had to drive 2.5, 3 hours to get back here. And after I get off this live, my old hiney, sorry, is gonna get in that uh that hammock over there and take another nap. I only take naps in the hammock, but I don't sleep at night because I don't know. I just don't want to keep the bugs off. Occasionally it rains in the middle of the night, and so I just don't want to get wet. That's why I'm using the pickaxe to level it out, so it'll be hopefully at least marginally better sleeping. Paul Wolf, stay strong, my brother. Keep moving forward. I intend to. I'm getting old, but I intend to. Thank you. Ben HD, I want to say I feel the same way about cops that you do, but I admire how you always stay calm and respectful with police, and you record them and you know your rights. I think it's imperative that we all know our rights. I mean, look around. Look at our country. I criticize this country a lot, and I don't love the politicians, but I have changed. I've softened up a little bit when it comes to police, because there's a huge difference in police in big cities versus the guys that live here. I mean, everybody, I've seen the one or two cops here. Everybody knows them, and they know, and they're nice to them, and they're polite, and but just look around. I do love the country itself, the founding heart of the country, but it's bad. Communism is obviously taking over. The hive mind is taking over, and to me it's very dangerous, because these idiots get together in these big cities and they have a boo-boo, and they elect politicians who promise to give them free money, and then you get free money and you get poverty, and you get, people don't appreciate the dollar when they make it. I'm not trying to pick on Billings, but that's another thing I don't like about Billings is there's a lot of homeless people there. And I'm not picking on homeless people, because obviously I am one now, but I'm not a drug addict. I used to be an alcoholic, but I'm not anymore. I take care of myself to the best of my ability. Yes, I've got a back injury. People, when they see me, they see the muscles, which I've worked really, really, really hard at keeping myself in shape, because I figured out if I didn't do something quick, it's going to go downhill. But anyway, there's a lot of welfare there, and there's not any, to the best of my, I'm sure there's some, but I haven't seen it in any town. I've been in spent significant time in 5 or 6 different cities here in Wyoming, and you don't see anybody like that, like anywhere. You don't see tatted up. I mean, I saw people, women and men, passed out in the grass in front of a big, nice bank right in front of Main Street, just asleep or passed out. I don't know, but they're everywhere. I got propositioned and winked at a few times by some hookers, and that's just not my thing. And I know there's a lot of, and I can't tell you how I know this, but I do know. I know there's a lot of welfare in those states, and I get it. There's arguments between the natives and the whites, the government, and it's not my battle. But anyway, I do love this country. The heart of what it takes to work really, really hard. I'm highly critical of the behavior of mainly the communists. I think I got off a little bit on topic there, but sorry about that. Jamie, I'm an introvert as well. Since I have no job, I only go out very late at night. Oh my, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not encouraging everybody to just be jobless. I mean, I had a career. I was in business for myself, solely for myself, with employees. I was the boss for 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years. I had employees until I got sued and divorced and lost it all. Then I subcontracted after that. I did between 5,000 and 6,000 field jobs in my career. At the moment, the reason I don't have a job is because the only thing I'm qualified to make any decent money is oil field work. I'm too old. My back hurts. I just can't do it. I've been through shit. What little I make on this YouTube channel is just enough to feed me, and has been, and I get to live up here without doing it. I feel very fortunate for that. And but it's not like I've never had a job. And the haters that would love to make everybody believe that, but that's simply not true. Well, you're behind on your child support. Well, you try having 4 kids with a narcissist ex-wife and get sued half a dozen times over a period of 6 or 10 years, and have your bank account seized in the middle of paying bills, right when rent's due, right at Christmas time in 2017, after you've already won custody, after you got sued again. And let's see how well you do. Let's see how well you recover. And I'm not talking to you, Jamie. I'm just saying people in general, or haters in general. Sergeant, let me get in the shade. Sergeant Skydiver, why would you have gone to jail? The short version of that is, if you saw the Parker movie, and I assume everyone here has seen the Parker movie, that's the only reason you're here. What you saw in that Parker movie, that 72 uncut minutes, raw footage, that's what I went to jail for, literally. I did not kick my son out. And whenever I left, Officer Spink said, "Mr. Levitt, you're free to go." Everybody saw it. The judge saw it. Over the next 6 weeks, while Parker, or 2 months or whatever it was, while Parker lived with me, I'd pick up the little ones, we'd have our weekend, I'd drop them off, Parker wouldn't get out. That happened a total of 6 times, so I was technically convicted of 6 counts of not kicking my son out of the car. And I was sentenced to 60 days per count, which was a total of 360 days. And fortunately, my lawyer, who had promised me I wasn't going to jail, well, technically he can't say I promise you won't go to jail, but I'm telling you, you're not going to jail. I went to jail. At least he got the judge to say I could serve all 6 sentences concurrently. And so I did 4 days the first stint. I got out after on a bail bond, like $2,500, whatever it was. I never got the bond back, and I appealed it to the Eastland court. They said, "Nah, screw you, Caleb. You're not worth our time. Just go back to jail. Shut up and go back to jail." So I spent even more money and appealed it to the Texas Supreme Court. And the Texas Supreme Court said, "Nah, it's less than 6 months. You're not priority, Caleb. So we don't care about you. Just go sit your ass in jail for 56 more days." And that was about a year later in 2014, during the summer, like August, September, or September, October, something like that. I went and finished my, in 2014, finished my taxpayer-funded retreat there at the Ector County Jail. Sob JC01, I ate KFC just now. Okay. Person's name is just K. What would you recommend be my first job? I'm young. I want to start with a job that would actually have substance or help me. What are you interested in? Do you like technical things? Do you like computers? Do you like working with your hands? Do you like working with animals? Do you like working with people? Do you like working alone? Those are some just real basic questions that you've got to ask yourself. I think half the people I went to school with, back in the 80s and 90s, we all wanted to be marine biologists and work at SeaWorld. And I don't know if there's a lot of money in that. I kind of doubt it. But just ask yourself, what do you like to do? What comes natural to you? Do you like to sing? Are you artsy? Do you like to work with your hands? Do you like to work with computers? Try to steer clear of BS jobs. I say there's no such thing really as a BS job. There's BS training in modern day colleges for jobs. We always call them underwater basket weaving degrees. Don't ever go to school just to get a degree in the humanities, because especially unless you can pay for it. If you can pay for it and you want to do it out of pocket, by all means, knock yourself out. Just don't be surprised when you get out of a 4-year college after you shelled out 50 or 60 or 100 grand for a piece of lambskin with your name on it, and nobody wants to hire you because there's no jobs for that. More or less, college is for if you want to be a doctor. Sure, I would much rather someone who's operating on me having gone to medical school. If you want to be a lawyer, You can't be bar certified unless you've passed the bar and gone to college for it. But if you want to be a plumber, go to trade school. If you want to be, I don't know if you're male or female, or if you want to be a hair nail tech, um, I think it's ridiculous that you have to have these certificates, but that's in most states, that's just how it is. I hope that helped. Saab JCO, what's your favorite restaurant? Any small mom and pop Mexican food places are my favorite. Stacy Hooper, you remind me of Gordon Ramsay. I have been told that. In fact, uh, the last time first sabbatical I went on, I uh, I went and filled up, and I don't know where I was, somewhere in the Rockies. And this young girl, probably about 25, she looked at me really funny when I walked in, like really funny. I thought, don't people don't normally look at me like that. I thought maybe she knows, maybe she saw me on YouTube because I don't know. And she said I was cashing out. She said, for a minute, I swore to God you were Gordon Ramsay, and I knew he was, but it took me a second. Like, wait, who? Oh yeah, the crazy chef, the foul mouth. Uh-oh, Dan's zapping some people like crazy. Oh my goodness. That must have been irritating her. Oh, no longer Micah. You got timed out for 60 seconds. That is so funny. Campbell, God dang it, I got to get in the shade again. I can't see it. Campbell Pask, what's Parker doing now? He is a professional horse trainer. Happy Ice Skate. My dad, on the other hand, had a favorite. Well, again, maybe that was your perception. I'm not calling you a liar at all, but and maybe it was real. I have seen people. Yeah, y'all better listen. I have seen parents that do that. I think it's just kind of unfair. Like it's kind of a douche move as a parent to do that. I mean, again, kids they had no say so when they're born, who they're born to, how much attention they're given by their parents. It's up to the parents. So, thank you, Dannon. Saab JCO is parked for? No, absolutely not. That's a ridiculous question. I don't know why anybody would ask that. It came out 11 years ago. He's 25. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but sometimes you gotta think. And some people call me their internet dad, and an internet dad's not gonna say, well, it's okay to ask stupid questions. No, it's not. There is such a thing as a stupid question. And sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but this is how you learn to think. Happy Ice Skate, I just came in from riding my power chair around the neighborhood. You did? Okay. So Jason, has Parker ever lived with you? Of course. He lived with me. Like I'm not gonna even answer those ridiculous questions anymore. You're just trolling me at this point. Shelly. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Caleb. Happy to catch you live. I remember visiting with you, and again, thank you so much for taking such an interest in our story. Shelly, she was like commenting on all of them. I was catching them, and it's real flattering to me that someone takes an interest and bothers watching, because people that watch all the videos like that, they don't ask stupid questions. Hello, Miss Mary. None. Who's Miss? Or maybe it's Miss Mary whacking somebody. I'm not sure. Parker's 17th birthday. I've watched your video on Parker driving his truck. Thank you. Happy Ice Skate. I lived in Arkansas for years. One good thing is they don't have alimony there. Well, Texas doesn't have mandatory alimony like some states do, but it does have it as an option to get out of, like in my case, I had a business. She wanted half my business. Taking half my business would have bankrupted me. So in lieu of selling off all the assets and lose my business, I just used alimony as a tool to pay her an X amount. She originally asked for $20,000 for 40 years. No kidding. And we wound up getting it negotiating down to $2,000 a month for 12 years. Shelly, can I ask a personal question? You don't have to answer. I was curious if she was physically abusive to you also. Yeah, I'll answer that. Yes, she was. Yeah, I've talked. I had to think for a minute. Some things I know I've talked about. Might not should have in the past, but yeah, yes, I got slapped more than I care to admit. I had my glasses punched off my face with either a fist or a cell phone or a cordless phone more times than I care to admit. Um, it was bad. I should have seen the writing on the wall, and I did it, and I was foolish, and that's why I do what I do. A lot of time is I teach my own children the signs to look for, so that they don't repeat what I did. And then obviously I've had a lot of people watch what I've did, and I get a lot of people asking me questions. And to be quite honest, I don't want to see the next generation be as naive as I was and put up with the BS that I put up with. Dr. Tijin, hi. Shelley, Happy Cascade, alimony is a joke. They shouldn't have alimony anywhere. I don't agree with it at all. Yeah, I agree. It's you marry somebody, you ought to really take it seriously. And I am talking to myself. Marriage is it's a very serious thing that obviously the majority of people do not take seriously. And I only say that because the marriage rate, first time marriages is about 50% failure. Second time marriage rates is about 70% failure. I just read a statistic about 6 months ago. Lesbian marriages have like a 80 to 90% failure rate. And the funny thing is, you know what the number one stated reason for divorce for lesbian couples is? Drum roll, please. Domestic violence. And I'm probably not even supposed to say that word. That'll probably get me zapped because I forgot. DV. Um, Plague Boy Kira, how old are you? And how are you doing? I'm 47 and I'm fighting these flies. There's some people coming up the road there, and I'm just I'm so introverted. I mean, it's not like I'm not supposed to be here. I just don't like people knowing exactly where I'm at, so I'm trying to hide behind the trees, and there's flies over here. Happy Ice Skate, you're homeless, but you could live in a broken down trailer if you had to. No shame in that. No, I've lived in that most of my adult life. That's literally. Um, I don't have any shame for what I did. I mean, I can't help what happened to me any more than Parker or Hayden or Blaine or London can help what happened to them being caught in the middle of all this. I mean, we can't help it. We're just doing the best we can. I mean, sure, I don't like it, but I try not to be, all mopey all the time. I try to keep a positive attitude. I don't know how else to get through this crap. That's why I got in the gym. That's why my biceps are damn sexy for an old fart like me. Miss Mary Rose, darling, he won't answer that question. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. I can't talk about my kids' relationship with other people. I'm sure you people understand. Shelly, 45, and here, y'all hit that like button for Caleb, please. Well, if you've been around for a while, you'll know that I often mock YouTubers for spending way too much time begging for likes. But thank you, Shelly. It does help. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you. It does help. Plague Boy Curie, do you have a house? Nope. Well, I mean, technically, I still have the tiny house, the trailer in with the Florida room in South Florida, but Blaine's in it, and I'll never return to South Florida because it's too hot and it's too crowded, and I can't stand it. So technically, yes, but actually, no. Craxy Braxy, did you sign a prenup that? Wait, did you sign a prenup that you would recommend? I did not. There's no reason for me to. When we got married, we were young. We were like 20 and 18. There's a misconception on prenups. A lot of people think you just get a prenup no matter what, even if you're broke. Well, if you're broke, it doesn't matter. It makes absolutely no difference if you sign a prenup or not because you're broke. If you make money after you are married, then that is what's known as community property. Rich celebrities that are single or divorced and they meet someone new and there's a big wage difference or big wealth difference between the two, they have the poorer spouse to be sign that prenup so that in case they are fooling them, um, they can't just get married as soon as the ink's not even dry and they go file for divorce and take half their shit. That's in a nutshell what prenuptial agreements are for. Again, if you're both 25 years old and you're both broke, there's no point. A, I wouldn't get married in the first place, if especially for the man. If you're broke, if you're a man, especially in this world, and you're broke, this is going to go against what a lot of people would say is, I recommend do not get married. A man's job is to protect his, as far as being married, is protect his wife and protect his children, protect his family as a whole, and keep them whole. And if you're broke, you wind up having to compromise yourself, and you'll do compromising things, and you'll neglect things. You'll have to work double time, overtime, which you're going to have to anyways. And if you're working that much and you're always gone, you're not exactly there to protect and take care of your family necessarily. Um, and this isn't, carved in stone, but if I were a man, young man, thinking about getting married and I was broke, I wouldn't even think about it anymore. Don't even entertain it, because you have a job to provide. That's just what you're supposed to do. Um, Shelly, yeah, the cops told him to leave with Parker, and then they throw him in jail for what the cops said to do. Yes, not fair, unbelievable. The BS, they threw you in jail. Yep, that's basically it. That's what happened. That's literally what happened. Blake Gracia, hi Caleb. Hey Blake, I remember you. Constitution Alley, how do you spot a narc with a non NPD, narcissistic personality disorder? I assume that's what you mean. They're clever. I can usually spot them a lot easier now that I even know what it is. That's another thing before you get married. Um, you you got to really get to know someone. The best way to get to know someone I've found is getting a good old fashioned fight. I don't mean fist fight, but I mean an argument, and see. I mean, you can ask them right up front if you feel like you're starting to like them. Ask them. I do this now. Anybody I start dating seriously, which is nobody now, but I would ask them, and I will in the future, how do you resolve conflict? And if their answer is anything but talk about it, or maybe if it's a girl, cry and walk away for a while, take some deep breaths, and then talk about it. If it's pretty anything other than that, walk away. If they yell, scream, holler, and throw crap, just walk away. And then if they pass the first test, get to know them a little better, spend some time, put maybe not intentionally, but see how they handle themselves under pressure. Take them to a place that you wouldn't normally go yourself, or there's a little bit of pressure on how to act or how to behave, or and just see how they react. If you wind up getting in an argument, you might even test them by push. I do it. I admit it. I will intentionally push them to see how they react, because I've had a lifetime, 10 lifetimes of fighting, yelling, cussing, hitting, screaming, insults, and I'll never ever, I'll never do it again. I am damaged. I know I am, but that's what I would do. Jamie, did you really get the nickname Notorious Dad in jail? I did. I did. The only, or the main friend whose name I remember, Jarvis Walker, basically gave me that name. We were joking around, and they found out why you're in here, and the guards went home and watched my YouTube channel, and they reported back to some of the inmates. Jarvis had been in there in and out. I don't, for lots of times, but he is the best friend I made. Jarvis Walker is the blackest black man I've ever met in my life, and a lot of people are scared of him, but I wasn't. He was jacked, like jacked, and nobody messed with him. But he's funny. He he knew all the guards really well, and all the guards really liked him. So they're the ones that told him. He said, "No shit, you in here?" And I don't remember how it exactly came about. We were playing cards, and he blurted out and said, "I'm the notorious DAD," or notorious dad or whatever, and we just died laughing. So that's how it stuck. And when I got out, I knew that one of her intended, or I knew, I suspected one of her intended purposes to have me thrown in jail in the first place was to shame my family, because no one in my family had ever gone to jail. And I didn't hang my head in shame at all. In fact, the first thing I did when I got out is make a post online, something, I don't remember exactly what I said, something to the effect of, yeah, I'm out of jail and I got the nickname the Notorious Dad Biatches. Sob JC1, how do I follow Parker Lever on social media? You can't, because Parker has no social media. Dr. Teachin, oop, he got zapped. Blake Garcia, Caleb, weren't you a roughneck at one point? No, I worked around a lot of roughnecks on the rig, but I never was employed by the drilling company. I never, ran the tongs or, did all the mud pump stuff. I just, all I did was service the Caterpillar diesel engines on the drilling rigs. Dr. Tinjin, what's your favorite baseball team and football team? Mine is the Padres and the 49ers. I don't have one. This isn't a personal slam to anybody. I just don't like organized sports. Superman, the kid's stepdad, he was a lineman for Texas Tech, and they tried to push that crap on my kids, intentionally knowing that it would interfere with my time with them. And I've always resented them for that. And I went on strike, basically. I wouldn't watch any. Nothing against people who do watch it. I just think there's a lot more interesting things to watch, to spend my time watching, keeping up with markets, keeping up with, you don't have to be into politics, but it's a pretty good idea to know what the hell these buttholes are doing, the Republicans and the Democrats are doing to us on purpose. We pay half our money in taxes, if you pay any tax, unless you're on welfare. And this country was formed over a 1% T tax or 2%, whatever it was, almost next to nothing. We didn't have these kind of taxes, and back then people that aggravated them. They paid attention to politics. And they fought a revolutionary war over it. I just happen to think that watching sports ball all the time gets you focused on the bread and circuses like they did in the Roman Colosseums, where they fed the lions to the Christians, and it was like, yay, there's another dead Christian. Oh, cool. Like, hello, as a human being, this is kind of a messed up society. And now look at us, look where we're at. And I'm not trying to crap on anybody that, watches sports. There's nothing wrong with watching sports and having hobbies. There's nothing wrong, but that's my personal reason why I don't watch sports. Other than the legendary Mike Tyson. He's my only favorite athlete that I'll ever give any credence to, some guy that I follow, that I look up to, that I respect. I've just always had, and I know he's crazy in some things. I know he's done some weird stuff. I know all about it. I mean, I'm not an expert on his life, but I just love how he handles life. And especially as he gets older, I like watching his podcasts. About every 2 or 3 months, I'll probably do it more here now that I'm in my hammock and I have nothing but time on my hands. I'll spend a whole day just watching old Tyson fights and old Tyson interviews. And my favorite interview of Tyson was when I don't remember who it was. He went on some morning show, and I think he was running for some kind of local office. I can't really remember. I have to watch it again. But this interview dude brought up the fact that he was a convicted felon, and Tyson was like, excuse me, that's not what we're here to talk about, or something like that. And he doubled down on it. And I can't repeat it because I'm trying not to get zapped, but he dropped some F-bombs and told that guy where to go and what he could do with it. And it was the funniest thing because they're like, oh, come on, Mike. Don't embarrass you like this. No, F you, man. No, you just talking your smack. I just always loved his attitude. So that's my one exception to sports and sports ball is Mike Tyson, because he had managers and trainers, Cuss, the way he admired Cuss, the relationship was just beautiful to me. But when it really comes down to it, the way the man made his money was this and this. That's it. Just him. Again, yes, he had trainers. Yes, he had promoters, Don King and all them crazy guys. But when it really came down to it, where the rubber meets the road, it was one man with one mind and two fists, and that was it. At that moment, at those few minutes in the ring, that's what I like about boxing. And I'm not a boxing expert. I don't even watch. I watch a little bit of the other guys. I'm kind of getting into MMA a little bit, but that's a kind of a long answer to that question. 55 minutes in. Fast staying. Do you prefer a dirty blonde or a naughty brunette? I've always wound up being with brunettes, but I like blondes. Um, I probably don't even need to go there. Shelly, I went down a rabbit hole on your channel. LOL. I actually spent hours on it. I kicked myself in the butt for asking most of my questions because the more videos I watched, all my questions were answered. Well, Dana, would y'all, is there a way to pin that? I can do it when I was at my desktop. When this goes live, I don't know why the comments don't transfer over. I'm going to pin that and I'm going to read that out loud again. This is what I want everyone to know on some of these things. When they ask me, how's Parker out of the cheerings? Shelly just said, I went down a rabbit hole on your channel. LOL. I actually spent hours on it. I kicked myself in the butt for asking most of the questions in the comments because the more videos I watched, all my questions were answered. Clap, 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 applause, applause, applause. Thank you, Shelly. You just made my day. Junior, who took my comment off? That would be Miss Mary or Miss Dannon. If you asked how my cheerings were, then, or maybe they thought you were being obnoxious, they're the ones taking it off. It's not me. I don't have the ability because I'm on my phone. Happy I escaped. My brother's ex-wife lied and said he was a woman beater. That was her grounds for divorce. Yeah, it happens. That's why you got to be really, really, really careful who you marry. Get to know them. Don't just race down the aisle because you see the Insta turd models on Instagram spending daddy's $50,000 on a silly wedding just to make it look beautiful. That's not the reason you get married. You get married, sure, you can have a ceremony and you make it special, but obviously people are getting married for the wrong reasons, or else there wouldn't be such a high divorce rate. Kate, 4 big little voices. Dang, I didn't know. Happily single. Dorian Mabry. Hello, Dorian. What's up, Caleb? How's it going? It's going well. I'm back here and it's nice and 67, 68 degrees in northern Wyoming in the mountains, just where I love it. Dorian, again, I was just listening to The Offspring. Yeah, they're my favorite punk rock band. I got so disappointed in them and what they did to their drummer back during C19. Trying to watch my language here. I was really disappointed in them. I can't help, but I still do love their music. But that was the most unpunk thing they ever did, was do what the C19 authorities made them do. Anyway, I still love their music. Their song, "The Kids Aren't All Right." It's what I think about when I hear, or I think about Parker when I hear it. I must have sang that song to myself 1,000 times while in jail. Brian Chandler, are you related to Sergeant Denver Leverett? I don't know. I don't. If I am, I'm not aware of it, and I don't know if is that a sergeant. And there was a cop in. No, there's a cop in Midland, Texas that I don't think I was related to. He's the only other Leverett in that area that I wasn't related to. The Denver Leverett, that doesn't ring a bell. I'm sure we may be cousins, like really, really, really distant cousins, but I don't know him. Blake Garcia, you know it's hot when a Texan complains about the heat. Florida's hot. Yeah. That's why I don't live in Texas or Florida, or one of the reasons. Happy I escaped. My twin sister is coming up here on her 1st anniversary. Oh, you're a twin. How nice. My grandfather on my father's side was a twin, but his twin died at birth, and my mother is a twin. So cool. That reminds me, we're talking about mother's, father's side. I'm like, the best I can tell, like a quarter German. And somebody, I don't remember their name, invited me to come see them in Germany. Or not like formally invited, but they said greetings from Germany. And I just kind of would like to eventually get my passport, go see, my German roots. My grandmother's side is Kuntz, Kuntz. If you had that last name in modern days, I'm sure you'd get teased quite a bit. I don't know if that was a bad word back then or not, but Miss Mary, Yeah. Uh-oh, your question needs to make sense, please. Yep. Your guardian, Angie, Mr. Leverett. Up until this point of your life, what do you regret doing to or for your children? For example, I raised my oldest vegan and ruined her eating habits. Luckily, she is a wise soul. That's a very good question. I'd spanked Parker 2 or 3 times. I spanked Blaine 2 or 3 times. I never spanked Hayden, and I never spanked London. And I regret ever hitting any of my kids. Um, I was spanked as or beaten as a child, depending on how you want to define it. The reason I took the stance on nonviolent parenting is Superman was put in charge occasionally of spanking my children, and I had a big effing problem with it. And um, I just made up my mind right then and there. No one's spanking my kids. If they're going to, it's going to be me. I regret drinking and getting drunk around my children. I regret drinking ever at all in any capacity, but much less around my kids. Um, what else? I was there when all four of them were born. I cut all four of their little umbilical cords. The haters would love you to think otherwise, but I actually wore the T-shirt. I still have the T-shirt. It's actually in Florida. I had it with me at one time, but it's actually in Florida. My little safe. I wore the same Old Navy T-shirt that I cut all four of their little umbilical cords in, and I still have the T-shirt. I regret marrying their mother in the first place, and I certainly regret marrying her twice. Again, I don't wish away my children, but I shouldn't have done it, and I've had to pay dearly for it. I'll have to think about it. There might be some other regrets. Um, I don't regret showing up. I don't regret missing out on the opportunity to make money when I was younger and I could. I was offered that. I was told I should to do that many times, but I don't regret that. I don't regret showing up, no matter how far I had to drive from Odessa to San Antonio. Happy Ice Skate, the cops should have investigated Parker's claim of abuse before sending you to jail for not kicking him out. Yeah, um, it's a. I don't know who investigates that. If it had been with child custody, it gets so complicated. Duly noted. I agree. I tried. That's why I try. As bad as I hated CPS even back then, I really hate them now. They're worthless. They're part of the problem. They didn't do anything. I finally had no choice but to report a case of Jason really getting physical with Blaine, and nothing happened because they're just a protected class. Brian Chandler, are you related to Sergeant Denver Leverett? No. Um, Happy Ice Skate, I like UFC because it's not fake like WWE. Agreed. Dr. Peabody, glad you're a Mike Tyson fan. I am as well. He will unalive Jake Paul. Oh my God, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Please, 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 Mike. I really hope that happens. I despise Jake Paul. Either one of them Paul brothers. I always told Blaine, dude, dude, get fit and get into boxing, and maybe you can get big enough you can go whip Jake Paul. Don't remember, I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan myself. Two, even though I don't agree with his actions, but I still have much respect for him. I suspect there are some lies. I'm sure he did some dastardly things to Robin, but I suspect that she's a gold digger and she probably told some lies. Dory Mabry, I like the UFC as well. Kate, for Big Little Voices, boxers have heart. Yeah, they have to. Hello, Lisa Werner. Do you ever think about going back to work so you could have more money to put in your crypto or have a home? Do you regret choosing the field mechanic as your trade? What would you choose in hindsight? I kind of do. I wish I'd have never gotten married, or at least not that early. I wished I would have gone and lived some life. I wished I would have got out of my hometown when I was young and I had no other responsibilities, not a wife, no cheerings. Um, What was the other one? Do you regret? Field mechanic is your trade. I don't regret knowing how to do it. I got really, really good at it, and I do feel fortunate. I've I've always been in situations where that kind of skill comes in really, really handy. Like I just know, like around the house, I just know how to fix things. There's a massive fly. I just know how to fix stuff. I always have. Anyone I've ever been with, they're like, "Wow, you know how to fix like almost everything." And if I don't know how to fix it, I know who to call and how to, troubleshoot it. So in that respect, hopefully I've still got another 30, 40, 50 years left on this earth. There's a lot of projects I want to do. I want to get land, build a log cabin, do water recycling, hook up. I lived on a sailboat. I learned how to put together my own wind generator and my own solar power. I understand it all it's easy for me to understand. And I like putting things like that together. I don't care to go back to get a regular job because at the moment, because I owe so much in child support, only thing I'm qualified to do to make big money is be a diesel field mechanic. And I don't have the back to do it. And I just refuse to go back down to Odessa. I just won't do it. So outside of that, I suck at everything else. So I figured the only thing I can get. I mean, I've done jobs where I'll make 800 a day or 1,000 a day, but at the moment, and if they did call, I would go. But they just haven't called in like, well, it's been a year, over a year, about 16 months since the last time they called. Dr. Peabody, boxing is an honorable sport for sure. Only sport I like, as you said, sir. I agree. It is an honorable sport. I like it. Amateur meteorologist Zachary Gagnon. I'm an amateur meteorologist. I storm chase in and around Clarksville, Tennessee area. That's awesome. Cool. I love to chase. I wouldn't call myself even an amateur. I'd go to the field all the time. And if I had a choice between taking this route, and there happened to be a thunderstorm over there to get to the job, I'd always go that way because I love thunderstorms. That's cool, man. Nelson Garcia, so what YouTube bothering you about? You aren't doing anything wrong? Or what was YouTube bothering? I got pretty raunchy in my description of, I'll just say, loose women yesterday. And I got pretty descriptive, and I don't think they took it too well. Martin K, hello from Russia. Wow, where are you from? I thought my channel was banned in Russia. Very, very, very few people. Like I can think of one woman who's told me in the 10 years I've been doing this, she was from Russia and saw my stuff. That's awesome, man. Where am I from? I'm from Texas. I know it's kind of a touchy subject, but and I'm not getting in the middle of the beef between Russia and Ukraine, but there's an Odessa, Texas was named after Odessa, Ukraine, and I was always told that as a kid. I always thought it was kind of cool. Bob JC1, Parker Leverett is the most followed on Instagram. No, he's not even on Instagram. I mean, other people might have him, but he's not on there. Happy Ice Skate. What kind of last name is Leverett? The best of my knowledge, it's English, possibly English Irish, but I think best I know it's English. That's part of the reason I want to get over to England. Other than obviously I want to see Charday, but I want to get over there and I want to do some research, find out where the hell I came from, or my family. Brian Chandler, Jeffersonville in Indiana Police Department. Okay, no, I don't know anybody in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Shelly, Caleb, can I recommend something that might help you for your channel? Absolutely. Yeah, someone who's taken the time to watch my entire channel, Shelly, I will absolutely listen to your recommendation. I may not do it, but I'll certainly listen to it. Maybe organize your videos in playlist. For instance, a playlist solely on Parker movie, Kids Plus Court, a playlist on working out, etc. Shelly, would you like a job? I can't pay. I don't know if I can make you like I've got Dannon and Miss Mary on here. I know I need to do that. That is one flaw I have. I'm horrible at organization. I'm just terrible at it. I wished I was better. I've made a few playlists. There is a Blaine series playlist. I've made a couple, but I'm just not very good at it. And you were absolutely right. I wished I knew how to do that better. I can't do it from my phone. I don't think I can. In the old days, they've changed it up. I may be able to, but if I can, I don't know how. And I can't exactly set up my laptop or my desktop around here. So one of these days, I'll either build me a cabin and I'll do that, or maybe, occasionally I'm going to have to go back and take a shower and sleep in a real bed. And I'll take a break from here, and maybe I can do it. If there is a way, I would love to have someone like you who's obviously seen all my stuff and knows how to organize, or maybe Dannon knows that. I don't know. I would love for somebody to help me get organized, because I'm terrible at organization. But thank you for the recommendation, Shelly. Happy Ice Skate. Do you have any brothers? I do not. I've got a lot of cousins, but no brothers. Happy Ice Skate. My brother got the belt every now and then. Yeah, I did. My dad beat the hell out of me. Ava Joan, hey, I just watched the video again and then saw your live. Well, hello, Ava Joan, and welcome to my crazy life. Dr. Taichin, that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight is so pointless, in my opinion. It's all about money. Yeah, I was really disappointed in Mike. He's done two things that and it's maybe not the things people would think that I'd be disappointed in. Two things Mike's done. One is he got the jab, and I was so disappointed in him for he caved and got it. And the other one was accept Jake Paul's. I get it. He feels like he's got to make a living. But since he's already done it, I hope he just demolishes Jake Paul, because Jake Paul is such a weasel. I would love for this to get to him. Then again, those guys, they are brilliant. They are brilliant marketers. I'll give them that. They thrive off of haters, and I'll give them. They are brilliant for that. And no way for mods to pin comments, but that was a great comment regarding the videos answering their questions. Yeah. Well, maybe Shelly will put it in once it goes live on there, and I know I can pin it then. I do it all the time. I know a guy who owes 13 grand about back child support. Well, yeah, I know there's guys that owe over 100 grand. Lisa Werner, what are the main characteristics you look for in a woman when you're dating? I'm just curious. I'm happily married. LOL. I don't know if I should answer that. I'm just not looking right now at all, and apparently, I'm an awful, I'm an awful mate picker. I don't pick them very well, so um, they cannot be obese. They have to be physically fit. They cannot be dumb. They'd have to be intelligent, hold an intelligent conversation. They'd have to keep up with me on trails. Those are some real basic things for me. Solve JC01. Parker isn't on any social media, and by the way, I have to take a shower, so catch you later. All right, take care. Take care. Happy Escape. My last name is Hardy. It's Scottish to my knowledge. Oh, nice. Nelson Garcia. Hey, if you did research on your family history of where you came from, could you do a video on it? Yeah. I can't wait to get my passport and get over to England and go live from there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward, because England, UK in general, is my third most popular country. First, it's the US, and then Canada. Sometimes it's UK's number two, second and third. That's where my channel. I know a lot of people over there online. I've met very few of them, but I know a lot of people are there. I can't wait to get over there and go live and maybe do my very first meetup or something. I'm like all about UK. It really saddens me what happened in the last 5 years since C-19 happened. What they did to those people, it's so sad what the men of that country allowed those crooked politicians to do. It looks like a lot of them have had enough, and they're starting to stand up to those buttheads and do something about it. I was really excited about that. Amateur meteorologist Zachary Gagnon. I was about 70 yards from the December 9th, 2023 Clarksville, Tennessee EF3 tornado. Wow. There was catastrophic damage in North Clarksville. Well, you sound like a person who knows exactly what they want to be when they grow up, or I don't know how old you are, but well done. That's crazy. I've seen a tiny tornado once. I've always wanted to see a big F5, but I want to be like a good 10 miles away from it. Shelly, I would help you if I knew how to organize YouTube myself, but I don't. LOL, it's probably hard to figure out, but I only have a phone, iPad, so I couldn't do it from that. Well, that's fine. I guess that was kind of a rhetorical question. So, happy escape. My older brother was jacked. He could break my dad like a candy cane if you ever fought back. Nelson Garcia, nice. Amateur meteorologist Zachary Gagnon. I'm 20 years old. All right, kids, I finally made it to the bottom. I am 75 minutes in. I rarely go this long. My voice is going out and my battery's going out. I'm going to have to go back. Now I've got my battery pack here. So I got to go charge, but I do have to go either take a nap first or get my pickaxe and go finish leveling out my stuff. But I will see y'all daily, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Consider not hitting your children. If you don't mind, hit the like on your way out. Consider not hitting your children.